Are we going? Testing. And we are going now. Welcome back to another episode of Discombobulated. How are you? How are you doing? I'm your host, Bobby Jayox, and I'm having an amazing day. I'm here in Chicago, Illinois. Yes. And I'm having a great day. I'm on the beach, which it looks like the ocean, but it's not. And right now on the beach is like a lot of snow. Like there's a beach, and then when you get close to the water, there's like I think there's a guy building an igloo right now. He's building something, or he's trying to. He might be just going into the water. Let me just make sure. Hey, you're not ending it all, are you? Okay, no, he's just making a snow angel sand castle, man. Okay, who really cares? You can't see what I'm looking at. So, how are you? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing insanely good because I know I talk about it quite a lot. But last night I got to open for my favorite band, fucking story of the year. It was insane. I didn't even know until I got to the venue when they were doing VIP that it was like finalized. Like, hey, you are going on stage. And I was like, let's fucking go. So I got to hang out and see like what their whole day was like, which was wild. And I want to talk about that and just seeing like all the stuff that goes on that's like how so different from a comedian. But one of the coolest things is like hanging out with them backstage. And I mean this, it really resonated with me, like seeing them get excited for me, like seeing them be like, hey man, I can't fucking wait to watch your set. I'm like, I can't wait to watch your set. They're like, yeah, we do this all the time. I'm like, that's insane. And yeah, in Chicago, one of the coolest cities. It says windy. It's not windy. It's fucking chilly. Not windy right now though. Hope I got the city right. I think you guys are the windy ones. But I got to go on stage and open for Story of the Year. And the coolest thing happened like right before I walked out is Steve, their tour manager, who I fucking adore, was like, hey, I'll bring you on stage. And I didn't know where that was. And it's from the soundboard, like in the back. So it's like a God mic. He's like, hey, I'm going to bring you on stage. I was like, okay, sick. Let's go. And then he was going to bring me on. And while we were standing back there, I was standing with the band. And Ryan was like, dude, should we like all hold hands? And like they were going out there, like they started doing bits. He was like, what if I pretend my head fell off? Like we were thinking of like, we're just laughing. And then Dan's like, I'll bring you out. If you like want, I think he could tell that I was like, the only thing I need is for one of you guys to validate me. Because again, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a fan of mine. But if you're going out to a Story of the Year show, chances are you don't know who I am. And I'm going to get into it, but they didn't even know who my character. Anyway, so so Dan is standing side stage and Bon hands me the mic. I fucking twirled in my hand. Fucking let's go. Normally I don't like cordless mics, but this one's a good one. It felt good. I felt good holding it. It felt very rock and roll in Chicago. And I was about to go on stage, and Dan's like, I'll bring you up. So he goes out, and he's like, guys, we've been coming out all night. It's the last night of the tour for their 20th anniversary of Page Avenue. And they're like, we have a comedian, our buddy Bobby's here, and we want to bring him out. So put your hands together for Bobby Jayox. And then Dan Marsala fucking brought me on stage to open for his band, and I gave him a hug, and he handed me the microphone. And I got to go out and stand on that fucking riser and be like, what the fuck's up, Chicago? And then they fucking screamed. And then I fought for my fucking life. Oh my God, dude. I told Ryan it would happen. And listen, I'm going to make one thing clear. I had the time of my life. I will literally never forget that day. I was walking around the building, tearing up, trying not to cry. There's a fucking painting of Robin Williams and fucking him as the genie. I'm like, yeah, I never had a friend like me. Like I just love them so much. Everything about that night was cool. And then I went out on stage and I was like, what's up, everybody? And it's a different atmosphere because at a comedy club, everyone's sitting and being quiet. But there, everyone's drunk, fucked up. They've been just singing to all the other bands. Fucking We the Kings just got off stage. They're like, let's check, yes, Juliet. Who's this Bobby guy? I don't fucking know. Get off of the stage. And so I went out in front of my favorite band and very quickly got a good amount of laughs. I got people on my side. And then I go, who's seen the War music video? And like, surprisingly, not a lot of people have seen that. Like, a surprisingly amount of people had actually not seen that. Could you believe? So that happened. Not a lot of people saw it. And I go, so, okay. And then so because I had a joke that I was going to do that I thought would be funny. That was basically like the joke of like, hey, I played a character named Cocaine Bobby, thought people would clap because I wrote material for this show. I was going to do some of my jokes, but I was also like, I wanted to write stuff a little specific to this. So, I mean, right off the bat, I did stuff that was like, I feel like I was in Chicago and I was like, you guys know you're the Windy City? They're like, we actually did not know that. I'm actually glad you told us. So I went out there and I started doing jokes. And the thing about comedy is that you have to build on timing. Like a song has timing, of course, but there's like a build up. There's like a sense of this that can't really. It can, but it doesn't really get as fucked up as like it can with like a comedian. So as soon as I would like my first time I like took a pause. If I was like, I used to be a firefighter, and like normally you kind of pause to kind of because there's a reaction. And then I'm like, okay, you guys don't think there's like different kinds of firefighters. And I was like, you used to be a firefighter. And this guy was like, get the fuck off the stage. Oh my God, dude. And I told Ryan, I was like, this like might happen. But I will say this again, I had so much fun because the people that were listening, and there's videos, you can see, the people that are laughing are loving it. And then there's other people fully in a convert, like, what the fuck's up, girl? What's your name? My name's Tommy. And so that was going on. And so I was like fighting with that. But because I have my ADHD brain, I didn't just sit in my jokes. I started fucking with everybody, doing like a couple other things, did stuff in the set that I wanted to do, did stuff in the set that I did not want to do. But I know that I'll never forget that night. And that's that. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that is kind of how comedy is comedy will do this beautiful thing where it builds you up to this incredible moment and reminds you that it's never going to be perfect and that there's always like other weird things. But I remember at one point looking over and seeing my favorite fucking band watch me on stage, and that just made me feel like $1 million. So that was cool. And then I got to bring them on stage. I got to be like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, fucking story of the year. And then I got to watch the show, and it was incredible. And then they had a lot of people come out. Fucking Jason Milbank, he came out, and he played the slide whistle on War. Like, I ain't never seen anybody play a slide whistle before. It was incredible. And then I went downstairs and got dressed as my character, Cocaine Bobby, and I jumped on stage. Went on so quick because I was like, hey, they liked me. Like, literally, they liked me. But there was definitely people that were like talking to you. Could hear people like, shut the fuck up. And then people were like, you shut the fuck. Calling me names. And so, but it really was great. Like, it really was awesome. I promise, like, I'm only saying this from a perspective of, I know how it acts for me to be like, it was the best show I've ever done would be a lie. Oh, but it was insane. Like having Bond fucking hand me my mic, having Dan bring me on stage, going out, getting reminded that comedy is always this fucking like path, having them see me and what I do, the difference from like what they do, and the whole day. It really just made for like a just an absolutely incredible experience. So I'm glad I got to share that with them. And then, I got dressed as Cocaine Bobby, jumped on stage, but I was like, they didn't love me early. I was all right. So I came on stage, jumped out, heard some big screams, and then jumped off stage so fast that the photographer didn't even know I got on stage. And Dan, the lead singer, did not know I went on stage too. Even smacked his butt real quick. So, and then I ran off stage and then went in the audience and watched with everybody dressed as Cocaine Bobby, full robe, tighty whities, and a fucking white beaties or whatever you want to call it. And was just like in the audience. And have you guys ever seen the movie Space Jam? And this, I do have to make a comparison to myself and Michael Jordan. I don't mean it's just it's just a little too perfect for this. But whenever he quits basketball and he's like, I'm gonna go take a professional career in baseball. You guys remember that? He strikes out and he goes to his dugout, and his whole team is like, that was a strikeout. That was a good looking strikeout, dude. When you look strikeout, it looks good. When I do, it looks nasty. Like that was how the people in the audience, people would say this a lot. They go, I really liked your stand up. Like it's the same sentence as I really liked your stand up, but the inflection, I really liked your show. I really liked your show. I really liked your show. Hi, Bobby Jayox. I'm here auditioning for a guy who really liked Bobby Jayox's show and assumed that everyone else hated his fucking guts. I really liked your show. Can we get a picture? Yeah. In my tidy whities. So, yeah, I made a lot of friends that night, and it really was fun. Like I said, like there's always going to be people like that. Like it was like a 15-minute set. It's like if I had more time, there's more time to like a 10 to 15-minute set. There's like more time to like, settle in it, or like if someone like was talking, I could like actually try to handle that and like move back out of it. But I literally didn't care. Like while I was on stage, I kind of kept looking around and just being like, I'm like in my mind on hallowed ground. Like to get to like be on stage opening for my favorite band is something I'll never get to do for the first time ever again. And I'm so glad that I got to. And I got to do it in Chicago, and it's so fucking fun, dude. It really, really, really was. And this is what I want to talk about this. So I showed up at around 3 is when they do VIP, which is very different than stand-up. Usually for stand-up, you do the show, and then afterwards, after the show, people walk by, you might sell merch, you do a meet and greet. If you're big, you'll like do a paid meet and greet, but it's after the show. But musicians after the show are so wiped that they actually do it before, which I was like, that it would like break the fourth wall too much for comedy a little bit. So people don't normally do that. I've seen people do it, and it's not like it's just not what I do. And so seeing them do their VIP, and then right afterwards, like their tour manager's like, all right, you guys have a podcast right down here. And then they would do that, and then someone would sit down and eat an Uncrustable. Dude, if you guys want to know bands, if you're wondering what they eat, it's Jameson and Uncrustables. And I've never seen, I every time I kept looking around, I was like, did someone rob a bunch of children? And I actually thought their buddy Cameron, the guy who does their photos, their merch and photos and all that shit, their buddy Cameron, I thought he was using the air fryer on the tour bus, and when he pulled it out, I thought he had put it in there with the packaging. I was like, I don't think you can air fry plastic, man. But yeah, there was Uncrustables and Jameson. That's the key to being a rock star. If you wanted to know, don't know if you did. That's the key. I put my foot up on the riser. I was like, let's fucking go. But yeah, just seeing like how like it's actually a more tiring day for them. Because here's the thing, as a comic, if depending on like a lot of comics, they're like, oh, I flew into town today or whatever. I don't do that. I'm too poor. So I'm driving into town or taking a bus into town. And then when I get into town, I got there, I'll try to get there as early as I can. So maybe we'll say around like 3-ish or something like that. If you're going to fucking check into the hotel the first night, whatever. And you check in. And then if you're, you might have a little time to kill, but you don't, like, I don't do what Dan does. Like before his show, he's like, fa la 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 la. And I'm just like looking at myself. I'm like, I'm a little gay boy, short and stout. Like that's my la 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 la. This is my handle. I am a stout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and get the fuck off the stage, man. Okay. So yeah, just like seeing them, but like they're like, as a comic, you're like, you have all day where you're just like, oh man, should I jerk off more? I probably should get ready for the show. No, there's always time for one more rippy dippy of the pants dick. It's fucking time to go to the show. I gotta rip one out of my pecker. Dude, I hate pulling your pud. That was what I remember there was like what the neighbor had said. People called him pud too, which never made sense. But yeah, pulling your pud, that just sounds like your dick is very fucked up. What are you talking about right now? Well, this guy's coming around on a fucking pretty fast bike. Check this fucker out. Staring at me, dude. You're the one on a fucking dumbass bike. Yeah, I'm fucking talking into a microphone, what looks like staring at a wall, practicing stand-up for in the next 13 years when Story of the Year gives me another chance to open. Hey guys, can I open for you? You know what, man? It actually went great. I cannot say that enough. It went great. It just was. You can't get over how many people would talk or wouldn't stop, or like if anytime I took a pause, tell a joke. I am doing that. Tell a joke. That's what I'm doing. Tell a joke. That's what's going on. I fucking just set this down and go fucking walk into the mini ocean. Oh man. Just going to Ocean Junior today. You mean a lake? Yeah. But yeah, see, like their day is really tiring. Like they have to they do press. They have to do all this shit, and then also sit and try to relax, and then you got to do something else, and then sound check and everything like that. And it's just I always thought it was I would watch, a documentary and they'd be like, man, touring really takes it out of you. And I'm like, man, you're so lucky. How can you complain about something like that? But then you see it and it really is a little bit more grueling and tiring than you think. Because also as a comic, you can explore the city during certain days. But as a band, you don't stay in a town really for a weekend. It's you go from city to city and maybe you're there a day, you might have an off day somewhere or whatever. But comics were just in town, so the next day for me I'll, if there's try to find a free art museum, or if you're an artist you can just be hey, can I get in for free? Sometimes they'll let you do that. And so I'll go check out an art museum, go around town. But for them literally they had enough time to be I think there's a hot dog place across the street, and if there wasn't we'd be eating at a CVS. So oh man, fucking real tight from driving around. Today I love wandering, and I've wandered in Chicago many times. I've been in the city and looked at my phone and been oh, it died. And then looked up and been oh, I don't know where I'm at. I guess I die now. And that feeling permeates me whenever I go to Chicago and any other big city. And today that's what I did is I just drove around in my car. It was just I'm going this way, and if I felt like going left or right. And I feel if you want to know about a city, get lost in it. I feel that is the best way to do it. Because at one point I was going to be I think I'm going to go to the art museum, and I know here they make you pay. And so I was I don't think it's not a small art institute thing or whatever. Or what I was and I was thinking about, I don't even know what the prices are, but I know they're probably going to be at least at least $15. And I was how about instead of spending $15, you just walk around or fucking drive around the city and just see all the stuff it has to offer. And I think that's always a way, way, way better choice. And if you start to be oh, I don't know where I'm at any time you can look at your phone, but it's so fun not to. I only did it once whenever I realized I couldn't tell I would be okay, I'm going north, but I feel I should have hit the lake by now. Lake Chicago. It's not what it's called. That's Lake Michigan, right? Let me ask you, excuse me, do you identify as Lake Michigan? No comment. Cool. All right. What else? I tried to, dude. So, and then today I woke up and, my friends Maria and Kelsey, we all got a hotel room, and, in the morning when my friend Kelsey, she has a child, and she's my child is throwing up. And I was I am so glad I don't have a kid. And I'm so glad that they aren't throwing up. And so she's I got to go. And I was okay, well, I'm sleepy. And so they were well, we have to go. And I was all right, well, can I stay? She's yeah. So we'll go downstairs and check out, but we'll tell them that you're still going to be here. And I was cool. They didn't do that. They didn't. They just walked in twice while I was trying to shower. I literally am taking off my shirt and I just hear fucking that Tommy boy fucking housekeeping, and I'm oh, no. I was I'm in. Oh, okay. And then I'm getting naked. I'm getting ready to go in the shower. And the guy just literally opens the door. And I go, I finish opening. I go, hey. And he goes, I am so sorry. He was cool about it. And I called the front. And I go, hey, what time's checkout? And she goes, 12. And I go, cool. Then why is it 10:17? And I've had 2 people try to walk in on me in the shower. She goes, that is not okay. I'm so sorry. She's we'll give you 1,500 Marriott's points. So my friend Kelsey got 1,500 points. And I got sexually eye molested by someone. They saw me and all my tummy scabs. Oh, this guy was yelling at his dog. I thought he was not good. Someone's got to teach the guy how to yell at his dog. You got to be like, come here, boy, not, come here, boy. Dude, is there anything better? You probably can't see it on that fucking, no, but dude, is there, I mean, just a dog running free. Because even when people run, we're like so kind of engaged a little bit, no matter, even if you run every day, like there's people been running around the whole time. But even when you watch people run, we're such like, such jackasses. But you watch a dog run and it almost looks like they're about to like be like, do you want we're taking flight right now? Like fucking go off into the sky. I just nothing cooler than that. I mean, there is things, but that one is really cool. Dude, I'm looking off and this like the fog disappears and her and this like I'm like right now I'm like, oh, they're going to heaven. Bye. It's like the field of dreams. I'm like, I think I might go to heaven later. Dip my toes in the I might do a polar plunge. That'd be fun. The thing is if I jumped in there, you got to get dry really fast. But I'd get so sandy walking all the way fucking back to my car through all this goose. Oh, wait. I think I saw geese, but it's maybe goose shit and fucking seagull shit. And I know I said seagull and it's not a sea, but that's what they are. That is what they are here. Oh, shit. I'm glad I looked down. Hold on. I got to put my chart. Hold on. I got to charge this really quick. Hold on. Fuck. Oh, Bobby. Well, it said 3 batteries. Well, it's okay, Bobby. Dare die on me. Don't you do it. Don't you die on me. Jack. There's a boat, Jack. There's a boat. Okay, Jack, there's a boat. I'm going to get on it. Jack, you don't have to go, but I'm gonna. Tell me it's charging. Show me you're charging. Okay. Well, the charging actually went away, which I believe means that it's charging. I really, really fucked everything up. I just trying my darndest. All right. Anyway, but yeah, if I did the polar plunge and I had to walk back all the way to my fucking car, that's how do you do that? Yeah, like whenever people do those ice baths, what do you do after? They're like, I do it for 2 minutes. And you're like, then what? I'm just fucking cold as shit. There's someone walking up and I haven't felt uncomfortable, but he made eye contact with me. How's it going? You want to be on my podcast? Yeah, me too. I actually don't want to do it either. It's called Discombobulated with Bobby Jayox. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm getting a fan right now. Thanks. You don't mind that you're on video? Okay, cool. Perfect. Because I was like, I don't even know how to edit this. Huh? Well, it's called Discombobulated, and I have ADHD, so it's just I'm a comedian, so it's just like I kind of just ramble. So if you like streamlined conversation, probably the worst one to listen to. Yeah. Tonight I'll actually be at the Lincoln Lodge at 9:30. Yeah. Lincoln Lodge at 9:30. Yeah, come hang out. What's your name? Bye. I was just saying bye. Yeah. Later, man. Take care. Oh, guys, making friends all the time. You never know. Like I see just now, it seems so scared, and then it gets better. Oh, it would be funny. Like I was like, oh, dude, I saw you fucking bomb open for. I didn't bomb. I actually had a lot of fun. Oh, I need to get way closer. This looks so much better than back here. Back here, I'm completely in the dark. Up here, I like a lot better. I'm gonna fucking. I'll do my power stance the rest of the episode. This episode is sponsored by running.com. You go online, you track how much you ran that day. It doesn't do anything to help you. You actually have to say how you have to actually calculate your miles, which your phone does for you. So we actually don't. Running.com is actually not doing very well right now. Not doing very well actually at all. But yeah, I will be at the Lincoln Lodge tonight. So that'll be fun. And then I have a couple buddies that are in town that I want to go try to see their shows. And that's just what I'm going to do. That's all I do is just fucking do. I said it the other day, and I'm in Chicago. It's worth repeating, but I feel like I'm like Ferris Bueller, but like 2.0. Like I feel like Ferris Bueller, his whole thing is like his day off. And everyone's like, that fucking guy. I take a lot of days off, and it is for my job. But as a comic, you always feel like, like whenever I talk to other comics, like I asked a guy the other day, I was like, hey, how's your job? He's like, which job are you talking about? I'm like, obviously the real one. Obviously the one that whenever they're asking for your fucking health insurance, the one you lead with. Actually, last year I made $1,500 total doing stand-up. So, but I actually a comedian, so. Oh, man. Okay, so this is actually fucked up right behind me because I didn't know where I wanted to record the podcast because I'm on the road and I didn't want to do it in my car. You know, there'll probably be a car episode, but I was like, it's real dirty in there right now. I don't want you guys to see my fucking living quarters. But this fucking place over here, right there, says it's a jet ski. It says jet skis available. You know what's not there? An attendant for me to get a jet ski right now. Bobby, it's a little too cold for you to ride a jet ski. Oh, I didn't know that I was not allowed to fucking ride a jet ski in the fucking cold. It's still water out there, right? I know it's a little icy. All right, that guy just was singing, and now this episode's has copyright infringement. Thanks, man, for singing that song perfectly. I am the time. But yeah, I thought I'd be able to rent a jet ski. I would love to be out there just fucking like if right now the people walking by that if you were just walking and in the water you could hear, you'd be like, what the fuck's going on over there? What are those guys doing? Are they actually riding jet skis or are they going to save someone's fucking life? Isn't that something you can do? Rent, like people do that, like either boat down or like you can rent jet skis. Oh yeah. Kurt Braunohler did that. I think he had a jet ski and would like jet ski from fucking like place to place and like do a show. Is that who it was? I think it was Kurt Braunohler. And he would like get out, do a show, and maybe stay. I'm sure he slept, and then would get his jet ski and fucking right. Dude, being a comedian is so fucking cool. It really is. It literally is the coolest thing ever. Like being a rock star is insane. Like I literally love getting to hang out with them, but it fits me so well being a comic. Like I feel like being a musician, like dude, my ADHD brain during the day, like I was just like, I feel like if on tour, I would just be like, I beat every video game. But as a comic on the road, it's like, I have like a lot of freedom. Like I drive wherever I want. I drive the bus. I do all of it. And how much do I make? $1,500 last year. I just told you that. So, okay, this guy is carrying a sixer, but of soda, as if he's like as if it's like it just looks like Coca-Cola. But I'm like a guy carrying it like that. Like it looks like they're actually doing it. He looks like he's late to like a commercial for. Looks like he's late for Fritos Loose. Hold on, yeah, it looks like he's making a commercial for Coke, like partying like they're drinking, but with Coca-Cola. Your dog's name's Frito? Watch this. Frito. Come on, Frito. I always like when people like, come here, dipshit. Name your dog Dipshit. Name your dog Bobby. Come here, Bobby. Come here, Bob. I just got a whiff of my own breath, and it is no good. Bobby, brush your teeth. I did. It's the days went on. I drank so much coffee that I have bad breath now. Dude, I love these people going out in the sand. Just fucking, I couldn't imagine being cold and having fucking sand in my shoes right now. That is like, is it, if I was like autistic or neurodivergent, was that whenever that would bother me the most? I feel like that's whenever I feel like maybe I am, because I get that in there. I couldn't, like, imagining those two feelings right now, it sucks. I'm cold enough just thinking about it, you know? I mean, God, I just look so much better up close on this camera than I do way back there. Thumbnail pic. Fucking dipshit. I had the best time ever. Like just getting to hang out with Story of the Year. I was talking with their bass player before the show, and I was like telling him, I was like, I'm like I'm kind of just like in my own head because I was like, I know it's going to be over soon. He's like, you're already thinking about it being over, and I'm like, I know I've done it long enough, and this like. It wasn't just a show. Like, it's not like I've done things that were like a big audition or whatever, but this isn't something like that. This is something I thought about, like, that I've wanted to do forever. I mean, the thing I want to do is play, like, sing with them on stage or play guitar, but to get to open for them is something that, like, I never really thought I would get to do until they had mentioned it, really. There's something, in the back of your head you think of, but getting to, like, actually do that, I'll never forget it. And I was telling him, I was like, I know it's going to be over soon. He's like, you're already thinking about the future when it's going to be over. And I was like, I know it sounds stupid, but yes. And then we got to come off stage and then do their fucking chant before they go on. And I fucking memorized the whole thing. It was fucking perfect. I would tell you, but I'm going to have to get their permission. It's copyrighted. It's sacred. It's special. In the eyes of our Lord Jesus Christ. Wouldn't it be crazy if like there's I just thought about this. There's like Satanists and there's Christians. But what about, and then like, but like people are always like, I believe in like multiple gods. What about someone who believes in both of them, but not as if they exist? Like they're like, no, I like both of them. Like they're like, no, I actually practice Satanism and Christianity. I think that's actually what I do. I think that's what most fun people are doing, is living a life of like do unto others as you have them do to you, but unless you don't want to, because they're being a little fuck. Yeah. Yeah, Christian Satanism. I'm actually a Christian Satanist. I'm actually a Christian Satanist polygamist. I'm actually... Oh my God. I have too much fun with myself. There's no one here. Oh my God. All the ists. Wait, what is there a Christianist? What are they? It's like Christian. They're Satanist. Catholic, not Catholist. I have a Catholisp. If I had a Catholisp, what song would be the funniest to sing with the S? Where's all the S? Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. I'm a Satanist. I'm a Christian bitch. I'm a fucking monologist. I'm a polygamist, but no one does that with me. You know what's like funny is if you identify as bisexual, you're like, you've probably like kissed a boy and a girl or something like that. You know, you're like, I'm bisexual. But if you're poly, you could just be saying that. Like if you can't be like, yeah, I'm actually poly. And you're like, well, no one would ever both date you and another. They wouldn't do that. Like, yeah, but I am. I'm actually poly. Oh, dude, we were talking about that. Because in this, like the world of rock, do you guys know the Breaking Benjamin? They have a song, Polyamorous. And we were talking about it the other day. And I always thought that that's really about polyamory. I always thought, I don't know why I always thought polyamorous. Whenever you see concrete on wall, like a whole wall is made of concrete, I thought that was like polyamorous. I also thought gabagool was like a stinky old stew, but gabagool is actually a meat for the Jersey people. New Jersey. How long have I been recording? All right, we only have 17 more hours of recording. Dude, these fucking people running, I'm like wondering, are they the happiest people? Because I'm like, you don't ever meet them because they're never in bars. They're never your friends because they're running. My best friend, actually, he does run, but he doesn't run a lot. He's not like a everyday runner. He just like will run here and there. You know what I mean? But the people who are like, their whole idea is like when they show up, you can just tell by their Nikes, like their swooshes swoosh harder. They got those pants that their legs are, you can see the dents in their the top parts of their quads. And yeah, those people, like, they have to be the happiest. They probably do that. They go home and read. They get prepared for their next day. They get prepared. God, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine me being that way. Maybe I will be that way one day. But I feel like if I run from here to there by the end, obviously I'm out of breath. But like, they get done and they feel good. They wear shorts in the wintertime. That's like a fucking superpower. And I hate those people. If you wear shorts all year round, you also don't have all around friends. You fucking psycho. I'm actually not cold. I actually don't want to fucking talk to you anymore. So, but goddamn, the drive back home it's only about it's like 4.5, 5 hour drive. 6 if you take a shit like I do. And to think about that, like, drive home, because on the way here it's awesome. Like, I wonder if, like, when they went to the moon, like, was the ride back, like, boring? Like, you're going to the moon, you're like, let's fucking go. And then you turn around from the moon, you're like, how your kids doing? Good. Miss Earth, me too. Me too. Tired of eating this fucking shit. I just assume that they eat that. If I was an astronaut, I would just be eating astronaut ice cream. Bobby's the first astronaut to get a little too fat in space. The ship can't handle him anymore. The ship is actually, and we brought all the food, but somehow he's getting fatter than the food that we had on. I know it scientifically doesn't make sense, but cartoon should be the coolest TV show. There was a show called Fat Albert. You don't think there's a show called Fat Astronaut? Show me that big fat astronaut. Get that big fat astronaut up in here. Ooh, that big fat astronaut. Astro? Not. It's so scary to think about going and being in that water right now. Like, how far is that? I played football and I stood on the sideline, so I have a pretty good optical view of how long things are. I would say that the water is a football field length away, which is 100 YRDS. YDS. YRDS. And I'm 100 yards away from death. Can you see that? Isn't that wild to think about, that you're like, oh, that's like, it's like right there. Because usually if you have like a near-death experience or something like that, which I was talking about in my buddy's podcast, Close Calls, you can see, I have an episode out, check it out, all promos. But like, you'll have like something happen where it's like you might almost crash your car. You're like, oh my God. Or a more real near-death experience where you like get like you're like unconscious. You might have seen Jesus, slapped his hand. He's like, gotta send you back. You're like, oh, dude, he's like, I know, we're at capacity. I know. And so you, instead of doing that, oh, we got a guy running by in shorts. But instead of doing that, I just feel like it's like wilder to think about, like that it's just like right there. You know what I mean? Like when you're like on the edge of a cliff. Did you see that fucking jackass running by in shorts? Where are your friends? I could also hear his keys clanking. Fucking dude, I know they make the pants with those pockets in them. I can't afford them either, but fucking you look like you run a lot. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that I'm like, if I just like, you go too far that way, then you're like, the game of life kicks you out. What am I talking about? No one even cares anymore. But we're almost done with the podcast. We are almost there. I'm checking the time because I'm also pretty cold. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I got fucking Gloverinos on because I'm so fucking cold. And then after this, I'm going to probably go get some Chicago food. Dude, the trash here is amazing. People who eat out of trash cans, is there like a city that you're like, that's actually the best trash food is actually out of a trash can in Pittsburgh or something like that. But the one thing I'm not going to do is take anyone's recommendations. I asked someone today, and then later I was like, you know what? I actually don't know if I care. Because someone will give you a recommendation, and then you're like, oh, that's their favorite restaurant. Or it'll be like, you got to get pizza, and I've had that. You got to get this. I just want to go somewhere and get something simple. I might even fucking eat at one of those fucking 7-Elevens. Get a peeled egg and throw it in my mouth as if I'm a video game character. Anyway, that's the pod. Go follow Story of the Year. Please fucking just live your life. Do exactly what you want with it. I promise you, if you do, you can be on a cold pier in Chicago looking out being like, that's not too far from death. But that's the whole podcast. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.